tools, and I'm going to do it. Don't be a dumbass like me. Have Jacob do it. And seriously, you're going to save a ton of cash if you use Jacob. As I say with all my sponsors, go ahead, get your 3 estimates if you must to compare. Jacob and his cousin, Jason, are going to beat it. All right? Bennett Flooring Installation.com is their website if you want to see some of their work. Also follow them on Twitter. On Twitter, it's at Flooring Bennett. Okay? And then you can see like comparisons before and after. This is the house when it looked like shit, and now it looks awesome. Bennett Flooring Installation, I want you to call them. They bring you the live stream today of the Eric Zane Show podcast. 616-318-0167. Also bringing you the live stream, JM Synthetics. Online at jmsynthetics.com. Jason Mays, who I saw last night talking to my dad. Wait till you hear what that jackass did. It was funny. 616-747-0233. If you want to get in on getting, the best products that exist for you DIY gearheads. First of all, they invented synthetic motor oil. So if you like to do it yourself, please support a fellow Zaniac by going to jmsynthetics.com and getting yourself a case of Hams oil. Again, this is the absolute tip top of motor oil. All the other guys, they're fine, but they didn't invent it. Wouldn't you want to go with the inventor of the product? And you get it from JM Synthetics online at jmsynthetics.com. On your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who looks like something that I would draw with my left hand.
You're so ugly you can be a modern art masterpiece.
It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is a daily. Hold on. I got to modify my opening line. It started out as a daily podcast with news, nonsense, and my personal shenanigans, but it's developed over time to an expletive-filled, rant-filled podcast covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. It's getting longer. I feel thinner. I feel good. I feel like a cheetah. I can run for miles. Well, cheetahs don't run for miles. I feel like a Kenyan runner. I can run for miles. Less fat, but I tell you what, the diet bet march is on. I'm now set up with the pull-up bar downstairs. We're going to the home gym. Okay, this is what I did back 10 years ago with P90X. Now, since P90X, there's been P90X2, P90X3, and Tony Horton would gradually shorten the amount of time that you work out because P90X, you're looking at 50 minutes or so, sometimes more per workout, 50. And the yoga is like 85 minutes. But I had the most success with P90X. And I want to get down back to the Eric Zane Show playing weight here. Pushing 180 for my little 5'7.5" frame is just not right. Okay, before long I'm gonna look like a bowling ball. But I'm telling you, man, we're now almost 2 weeks into the diet bet, and I kind of have hit a sweet spot on the food consumption. Those first days are so hard. You remember I sit here and talked about how we were up north. I wanted to eat a s'more, all that sugar, and I love it, man. I'm going to go back. Don't worry. I'm going to go back to that spot one day. But right now, the diet bet is in place. I'm committed. We got so many of you people that are doing the diet bet. I hope you're doing great, but I hope you're well, it's weird because I want you to fail so I can take your money on the diet bet. If you don't know how this works, we all put in $15. It's an online platform. It's awesome. If you knock off 4% of your weight, you get your money back. Everybody who doesn't at 4%, all the people that do, they take your money. Yeah. How fun is that? So, I set up my pull-up bar yesterday, and now I got my Tony Horton peanut. I was going to do it this morning, but I don't want to rush into things, you know? I want to wait to get ripped. Translation, got a little lazy. Busy day yesterday. Man, and here's how it's been. This has been a tremendously busy week because we had Meathead's virtual meetup. Now, man, I'm telling you, this did not let down. And I'm going to go through it as best I can, a blow-by-blow account of the highlights. We had about 10 to 15 Zaniacs on Zoom with my dad, the legend. And, man, they were all just fantastic. It couldn't have gone better. There was nothing that I was like, oh, no, we can't do that anymore. And he seemed to just bloom for the audience because, frankly, my dad was not too thrilled about doing this. At least that's the impression I got. And holy cow, he just hit it out of the park. He and his lovely better half, my stepmother, Joanne, and the way it, oh, man, everybody showed up on Zoom. My dad was the last one to show up, which was great because, like, here he is, you know. And so we get in there, and everybody's talking all at once, and those fucking Zooms, God, you know, it's like on Zoom, everybody talks at once, and it reminds me of, like, my previous days. It was like PTSD of the fucking radio show with whether I was doing it with one other person or with 5 other people. Everybody's fucking talking at once, and I'm like, shut up. We can't, and I right away, I was like, look, when he gets in here, it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be a free-for-all. I'm going to have to moderate this thing and steer it along because his head's going to explode. So I was scared to death because right away, I mean, Pellerito's got his cat running around. There's a chicken. There's a chicken. All these dogs and everybody. And then Schaefer screaming at his kids. This is Schaefer. Schaefer's got the fucking thing on, and he's got his kids are running around playing cowboys and Indians. This is Schaefer. Hey, Jason, how are you? Not bad. Lydia! No! Not now! No! Now put that down! No! And I'm like, oh, my God, what is going on here, man? Hit mute. So I'm like, mute. It was fine. Don't worry. I can get through it. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to make it awkward then, but it was hilarious. I hope you laughed, too, just there. I hope you didn't get butthurt. You better not get butthurt. I'm telling you, we have gotten to a point in the show that if anybody gets butthurt, I should have probably said this in the intro. It should be a expletive-filled, rant-filled show about news, nonsense, and my personal opinions where if you get offended, you have no business being here. None. Because I didn't really start having fun on this podcast until I stopped giving a shit about what I'm saying and who I'm pissing off. I don't care. It leaves my mouth, your problem. That's it. Okay. So, we're doing the bit. Dad checks in. Everybody falls into line very nicely. Okay. Dad, this is Joe. He wants to say hi to you. And he's like, hello, Joe. How are you? I'm very glad for your support. And people are asking questions. It's all simple, and he's doing great, you know. And there's some all sorts of high point moments. Now, if you're on Patreon, you can watch the replay. I got the replay up for you in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, because the damnedest thing happened. I'm sitting here, and I was moving my feet underneath the table here, and I hit one of the power strips, and I killed my own setup. So I was like, oh, my God, what did I just do? All of a sudden the screen goes black. I don't hear anything. Oh, no. And I thought I just ruined it. So then I turned my stuff back on. I clicked on the thing, and everybody was there. And I was like, oh, okay. It didn't, but it did. So I had to break it up into 2 parts. My fault. We get to Jason Mays from JM Synthetics, our AMSOIL distributor. And, man, holy shit. You should have seen how bright red my face got when he brought up the thing about me heating up my German war helmet when I was 14 years old up north at Grayling, when frickin' Kim is walking around in a bikini, and I'm like, what? What is this? Holy shit. See you later. Check it out. He brought it up, and he did it so expertly. He brought it up in a roundabout way that only everybody in the room, in the Zoom room, would get, except them, because they didn't hear it. But, you know, Diana was also in the Zoom room. I actually invited Kim to the Zoom room, but she didn't make it. But she's probably watching this right now, and she's probably going to watch the replay of it because she's a Patreon member. And you should have seen my face. I'm like, oh, God, it's happening. Oh, God. And it's in front of my dad and my stepmom, who were probably 30 feet away when it was all happening on the other side of the tent. It just, oh. And I'm like, oh, cut it out. Stop, please, Jesus. And they didn't know what was up. They thought that they got it that Mays was referencing something up north, but they thought it was something else. So they were kind of going with it on their own avenue, but it wasn't quite correct, and it was and all the looks on these faces of these people in the Zoom room were just laughing at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Serves me right. So Jason referencing my youthful beat-off tendencies to my dad and Joanne with my wife right there was, oh, God, imagine that. The shit I got to put up with. Then it goes like this. We bring in Kenny, and Kenny hit it out of the park here. Normally, Kenny, you know, an open mic and Kenny usually results in about a 15-minute story with all the background and every detail. And, hey, hey, meathead, how are you? That's good, Kenny. How are you, guy? Hey, Joanne, hey, how are you? Fine. Yeah, I used to go to school with a girl named Joanne in 4th grade, and yeah. What you have to do is you have to back up about 18 years and then add on 3 and then go back another 5 more and then cue into the first 3 hours of the day, the school day, and then there she was. Her name was Joanne, and then, if you can like cue into sentence number 3 of the conversation, it's hilarious. But he didn't do any of that. He cut to the chase. On Zoom, you can put your own background. So, like, if I'm sitting here, like, you know, you see me and you see in the studio, you got all the stuff in the room. But if I was on Zoom, I could set a background of anything I wanted to. And so he had that prepared and ready to go, to his credit. And but what he did was, he did a couple of very simple internet searches, and I don't know if it was on Google Street View or whatever, but he actually screen grabbed my dad's house from the street. And he goes, hey, hey, check it out. And he like leans over to the side. He goes, look what's behind me. Their minds blown as they see on Kenny's image behind them their own house, and they're like, what? Because, you know, they don't know that you can even do that. They're in their mid-80s, and they thought that was the greatest thing in the world. Kenny's stalking hilarity was a real high point of it. I give you high marks for that, Kenny. Then we got into a little bit of show and tell. Various members of the audience were showing their dogs, which led to the story about my dad when he dropped the tree on his dog Pepper. And then Pellerito, Pellerito has, in the last 4 years or so, moved to the country. The community known as Lake Odessa. Lake Odessa, this is out there. This is a great example of how Michigan, most of Michigan is like Lake Odessa and Saranac. It's all full of these communities like that, if you're not familiar. Outside of the handful of metropolitan areas, you've got vast Lake Odessas everywhere. So Pellerito gets out to this part of town, and he sets up this kind of like this farm setting, apparently. Now, I think Pellerito has like 50 or 60 dogs. I think his wife raises like sheep herding dogs or something like that. I mean, he's become like a biblical shepherd. And so here, Pellerito, I don't even think he has a job now. I think all he does is picks up dog shit and does stuff for the show and that is raise chickens. Because you notice in the video, and you'll be able to see it on Patreon. It's another reason why you need to be on Patreon to see this shit. Pellerito is there, and, he's got a T-shirt that's 18 sizes too small. You can see his ripped arms there in the shot, and he's standing there, and he's got his Britney Spears microphone, and it's all perfect. And then he has a cat next to him that's staring at something, but staring down, okay? So the cat is off to his right, staring at something. And it's causing Mike a little bit of concern because, you see, Mike wanted to show off one of his new chickens. The fucking farmer just hatched a new bunch of chickens. And he's got a chick, and you can hear it going tweet, tweet, tweet down. He's holding it down by his wiener, and the cat wants to kill the chicken. So you see it all unfold, and he shows it off. This baby chicken is so adorable. Hard to believe it's going to become like this really gross. I hope it probably shit in his hand, and he doesn't care. Like I said, he's a hillbilly now, and this is all in one 1-hour episode of Meathead's virtual meetup. It was absolutely fantastic. He ends up putting the chicken away. Had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, a good adventure on Zoom. Thank you to everybody who attended. If you ever want to do this with me again, I haven't reached out to Dad to ask him specifically, but I think we can pull it off again. But I got to space them out, maybe a handful of weeks before we join Dad again. My God. When I bring it up, make sure you reach out to me and say, I'm in, man. I am in, so that I can get your email address. I'll tell you more about that as time goes. But you got to be on Patreon for that. Okay, it is time for the Eric Zane Show podcast bit that I like to call Facebook feedback from yesterday's Facebook live stream. Because, as I'm recording every word of my audio and posting it to all the podcasting platforms except like iHeart and those radio-related ones, I have a live stream going, which you know about on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook, in particular, is where the big audience lies in terms of live streaming. And, boy, they have a hell of a time talking to each other. There's a lot of comments on what I'm saying and maybe talk amongst themselves. So I can't really engage you while I'm doing it because I'm focused on what we're talking about. But I'd like to go back and see what you talked about and then maybe comment on some of the things you're talking about. And if need be, bring it up on the next day's show. So just so you know, whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And the number one prime suspect of people that I want to use against in a court of law is a sweetheart of a wrong man by the name of, say it with me now, Nick. Nick in Portland, Maine, who used to listen to me back on my days on the radio when he was riding on the bus to school in Portland, Maine. He'd sit there and listen to his old pal Eric Zane with on the radio, on whatever the radio station it was back then. I forget what it was called, The Bone or Rock 106.3. I think that might even be it, but it's a far cry. It's a far cry now from what it used to be then. Back then, we had Pat Collins. Pat Collins was the number one Freeburn Hot Wing Show ally. He's since left. The station sucks now. Show is basically, it's very popular, but it's more of like it's a different show now. I'll just say that. So Nick's with me now. I get Nick in the divorce. But Nick does not agree with me at all on my views about, boy, it's pouring down rain outside right now. I just heard it. About not politicizing coronavirus. Nick thinks it is political. That's where we part. So on any given day, I'm going to tell people like Nick and Nick that they're stupid as shit. And like I said at the beginning, take it or leave it. I'm not going to bend my views because I'm worried about who I'm offending. Shut up. Idiot Nick is all about this, liberty. And don't tread on me flags. And he gives me a hard time because I'm constantly supporting public health and wanting everybody. If we would just stay inside, we would have just had this fucking thing knocked out forever ago. But we're getting close to getting back to normal. But dummies like Nick and the idiots that are going to be in Lansing today continue to say it's all political. So Nick yesterday wrote this. No doubt I was going off on a rant about dummies like Nick. And Nick referred to me as from doubter, like I didn't believe coronavirus was going to hit the way it has way back when. From doubter to podcasting propaganda machine. Propaganda, right? Oh, yeah. Because 100,000 dead in 2.5 months is propaganda, right? It's fake. It didn't happen, you idiot. I responded with, ha, I'm going to punch your ignorant throat. Nick's he's a diehard fan. He is absolutely a beautiful soul. He was with us on Patreon talking to my dad yesterday, chain smoking. Now, man, that guy smokes like a chimney. He loves it. Can't stop smoking. Then he adds, still love you, buddy. So I got to put up with that. Oh, yeah, love hurts, you bastard. Regarding the story of me getting in the wrong car on Tuesday in the hardware store parking lot. And, this is hot on the heels of me losing the car in the Lowe's parking lot up in Gaylord, Michigan. Zach, who delivers packages for a living and was also with us on the Meatheads virtual meetup. But why the hell, or I guess he should say, how the hell do you always do this? You need to paint your damn vehicle lime green or hot pink or something. Whoa, fucker. Did I not say that the vehicle that I got into or was getting into before the old man yelled at me that was his car was the exact year, make, model, color of mine and parked 2 spots to the left. I went to the closest one that looked like mine. His car was even all freaking banged up like the one I was driving is. So no, not my fault. Shut up. Come on, get serious. Folks, I want to encourage you to get a Eric Zane Show Podcast t-shirt. You go to my website, ericzaneshow.com, pick out the one you want. I got numerous styles. Could be just my logo, like the one there, but it's got my face on it. It doesn't have the paint chips. Thank you, Josh Gidcombe. I'm going to repair that, Josh. I swear. I'm going to fix the yellow. Maybe in the next month. Maybe not. EricZaneShow.com is where you get the T-shirts. If you want just a short sleeve tee, it's $24.95. I don't wear my own gear. Someone's like, you got to wear your own gear. I'm like, no way. Screw that. I'm not going to do that. There's no with $24.95, that's for the shipping too. That's included with it. I make them as affordable as I possibly can so that you can support the show by wearing the gear. And I got all sorts of different styles, long sleeve, short sleeve hoodies, different logos. My favorite, I love the Zany Bunch one, which has all the pets, which has immortalized in T-shirt form Buddy Bobcat Face, who's no longer with us. So there you go. The open of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you by the Kent County Health Department. They want to encourage you to do everything you can to protect yourself from illness. Masks, coughing into the elbow, social distancing, being smart. This state is slowly starting to come to life because of the expert leadership that is in place in terms of doing that. Oh, shut up, Zane. No, you shut up. Get your own fucking podcast and you talk about it. 616-632-7200 for the Kent County Health Department. If you're hard up for cash because everybody's freaking out of work right now because of the virus, you can help. Help is on the way if you call the Kent County Health Department. 616-632-7200 in terms of the WIC program. They're going to tell you if you qualify, get you started on all that. I don't want you worried about what you're going to eat. It's there for you. Use it. It's a card loaded with cash. And then you go buy the macaroni and the spaghetti sauce and the bread and the milk and the cheese and the eggs. Boom! Do it. And thank you to the Kent County Health Department for allowing me to discuss the initiatives set up to help the public. Thank you for that. A&D Cleaning is who you want to call as we come back to life in the great state of Michigan. They want to clean your house. Amy Porter, you call her at 616-550-3644. She's going to tell you the protocol about getting your estimate, either for a one-time job or a weekly cleaning, which is the way to go. 616-550-3644. You don't have to leave anything out for her. She's got all the stuff to clean the house. She's got all the equipment. It's turnkey. Call Amy. Her and her crew will do an amazing job. 616-550-3644. And finally, for this little patch of sponsorships, Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. They have slashed their hourly rate during the pandemic. A lot of you companies have your employees working from home. If their setups, their tech goes kablooey, what are you going to do? You call Blue Frost IT. Hourly rate cut in half, 616-200-8550. Thank you to Blue Frost IT. They also sponsor Twitter. The Blue Frost IT Twitter handle is at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. Okay, today is Michigan Capitol Protest Day. And this whole bit of stuff that I'm going to talk about here is related to that and the virus. So, basically, I have made it a point as these nuggets of info and news are passed out to the world. It's my job to put them into my own words about what I think. I'm not one of these shows, and there are a lot of them, you know who you are, who takes information like this, and it's the only thing the world is talking about. And I put my spin on it in the way I can. I am not going to dodge it like some of these gutless shows you see today that are too scared to do it because they don't want to offend people. And they sit there and talk about, curtain designs and the importance of succulents on your front lawn. That's actually a conversation I heard the other day about. It was like a 10-minute conversation. The whole world's going to shit, and they're talking about succulents. Embarrassing. Anyway, the protest is today in Michigan. Now, Michigan is trying to get out in front of it. And here's what's up. All these hillbillies are going to the Capitol. And they're going to do it again. Now, Michigan, boy, I don't know if I'd have done this. They're trying to keep it above board with these announcements on Twitter today, but they've got two of the dopiest cops I have ever seen to do something like this. Two people who have no business saying anything in a public forum. And they're trying to, it's just really, really weird. This is state cop number 1 talking about what to expect in the state capital of Michigan today as the Don't Tread on Me Liberty Warriors show up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lieutenant Brian Alexing again. I wanted to let you know what you can expect to see tomorrow here at the demonstration. I will be here at the demonstration tomorrow, as well as my counterpart, Lieutenant Dwayne Robinson.
First of all, get a fucking microphone. I can hear people in the background talking, and it's incredibly noisy. Be professional.
We want the public to be aware of what they can see and encounter tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of police presence. You're going to see troopers who are going to be walking around on the grounds. You're going to see some of us on bicycles. If you're lucky enough, you might even see a canine or two.
If you're lucky enough, you might even see a canine or two. He's addressing this to the hillbillies. First of all, why are you sounding like this is a fucking field trip for the kids?
You're going to also see a lot of our vehicles. One might be a mobile command center.
One might see vehicles and cops and dogs. What?
And have a couple of different vehicles that might be here to help us to create this safe environment which we want. But we can't do it without you. If you choose to come tomorrow, we ask that you adhere to the social 6 feet distancing.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do that.
Please bring your face covering.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do that.
And we only can do it in partnership with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like these cops want to partner with those idiots.
To make this a safe environment. We will be here to provide you information here on Twitter throughout the day.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that the hillbillies are going to be like, hey, man, I wonder what the state cops are saying. Let's check in on Twitter while we're here on the steps of the Capitol, waving our fucking guns around like Han Solo.
Please follow us at Mich State Police.
Oh, yeah, they're all going to do that. Absolutely. This is ridiculous. They needed some, and this cop, by the way, it looked like he's been sitting at a desk for 25 years. He looks like me right now with my fat gut. You know, this is bullshit. They need a cop with no shirt on and, weaponry, armed to the teeth. He looks like a fucking badass MMA fighter or something like that, and he needs to say the truth. All right, this is what he should have said. Hello, I'm Trooper Fuckface, and this is what you can expect if you come to the Capitol. Pissed off cops who hate that we have to breathe your stupid hot breath, smell your body odor, and the smell of your ugly wife on your crank. Hopefully you won't take your pants down. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, if you get out of line, you see this, and he's going to pull out a fucking baton. I'm going to bounce this off your head so fucking hard that your head's going to split open like an overripe avocado. So go ahead, scream at me, and try to get into the chamber. And you will feel pain like you've never felt before after you wake up. This will be bounced right across your face. So there you go. Or maybe even have the thing where they're wearing all the tack gear and the helmet and the face mask and the shield and the pepper spray and the heavy duty artillery and the dogs ready to bite balls. That's what they need to do, not this stupid shit. Oh my God, this is terrible. State cop number 2 is not much better. He sounds like he's dumb as hell, just like this idiot, the other idiot. And here he is talking about what these hillbillies can and cannot do. Because I don't know if you know this, but in the state of Michigan, like with these guys at the Capitol, you know how they got the dumb shits who wear all the tack gear with their rifles on the front of it, aimed to the ground? That's okay. If they have their pistol at their side, that's okay. If they're holding the weapon here and moving it up and down and waving it, not okay. Illegal. That's brandishing. If I have let's say I have my concealed weapon, which I always do, and I'm at Meijer, and some guy pisses me off, and I pull out my weapon and I'm waving it around saying, don't fuck with me, man. Don't fuck with me. I got a gun. I'm going to jail. That's brandishing. These idiots, most of them, brandish. Illegal. You can't do it in Michigan. They let it slide for the first round of idiocy. If they decide to not let it slide this time around, they're all going to get fucking arrested because not a one of them did anything but brandish. So that's where this could get dicey today. If the cops lose their patience, and I hope they do, with these dipshits and start to kick their ass, they're all going to go to jail. This cop tries to explain what's going on here, but he doesn't do a good job at it because his name is not Eric Zane.
Hello, this is Lieutenant Dwayne Robinson again. I'm here to talk about an issue that is on
You can hear a fucking 18-wheel pickup 8 feet away from this idiot.
Everyone's mind concerning the demonstration here on the Capitol grounds, and that is the open carry law. While Michigan is an open carry state, if you decide to exercise that right, make sure that you are not brandishing that weapon in any manner, shape, or form. And that is...
I find it hilarious that these guys are doing this by the book type of fucking thing here, and thinking that any of these morons from Borculo are going to go, that's a good point. Yep, I'm going to do that.
Is holding it in a manner or waving it or pointing it at someone that inflicts fear on a reasonable person. If you are caught doing such a thing, we will address that and you could be subjected to an arrest immediately here on the grounds.
Way too polite. Way too polite. So it's going down at 9 o'clock today. I guess it was yesterday. It might have been on The View. I'm not positive. Where Whitmer said, the more that these happen, the more the likelihood that the stay-at-home order will be in play. And I wish she wouldn't have said that because it seems a little like she's punishing them with that statement. Now, what she meant was she's implying that they could, in fact, spread the disease, which would result in more data that shows her that the state isn't dropping to a level that she feels comfortable in reopening the state full on. But I just wish she wouldn't have said it. I mean, leave the antagonizing to the dumb shits like me. She might have wanted to shut her mouth there, but whatever. It's her job. She can do it. She's the governor. She can do what she wants. All right, so that's happening. Yesterday was a bad day. Remember that old man barber up north in Owasso, Michigan? Where he said, you know what, I'm sick and tired of having to keep my place closed, and then a judge said, I agree with you. Or he opened up, and then, I don't know how the order of things happened. His name's Carl Mankey, and the Michigan militia was hanging out like there, and they were, all those hillbillies were getting their hair cut. Carl can only do one haircut, like a number 3. He just puts the number 3 on. The haircuts he gives takes like half a minute. It's like it's like Elvis getting a haircut in the Army. That's what this dude does. You go in there, he puts the clippers to you. It probably gives you a cold beer. You guys sit around with you. The dude sitting in the chair with Carl. You look at some porno and send you on the way. Probably hasn't even been a woman getting her haircut in there. And I've seen the haircuts in all these Michigan militia pieces of shit and all these hillbillies from wherever. It doesn't look good, so who cares? Now, if I'm Michigan, I don't care because I would just let Carl cut the hair of these hillbillies. It makes it easier to tell them in a crowd of people. So I would encourage all these Michigan militia idiots to go there, get your stupid hair cut, and then we'll see you at the Capitol, and they'll be able to tell which one is which. No problem. But the state of Michigan did not like that he had a court shoot down what the state said, and the court said, yeah, Carl, go ahead and give your shitty haircuts out to people. So Carl did. Well, Michigan doesn't like that. And they've got kind of a ball breaker attorney general. And so this is starting to get to an even more, kind of a weird state, as now state regulators, I'm sure pushed by the AG, Dana Nessel, have yanked the old man's license and said, sorry, you don't have a license. You can't cut in hair. And so, oh, boy. That happened Wednesday. And so now nobody can go get their hair cut. And apparently the story was the news reached out to Mankey. And I guess his old wife picked up the phone at the shop and said, hey, Carl's, Mankey's, you want your hair cut? We got a number 3 for $2. I want a number 4. No, we don't do number 4, just number 3. Michigan Militia card, you get 10 cents off. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. And they said that they gave the news to the wife that the state just pulled the license. And she's like, shit, I don't believe that. And you could hear Carl's clippers going off in the background. He's the guy who said he's going to keep the barbershop open, quote, until Jesus comes. Well, I guess the person that served the order was a guy named Jesus, because he shut down. A judge declined the state's request to shut him down earlier in the week. And now Dana Nessel says, nope, it is paramount that we take action to protect the public and do our part to help save lives. Now, this is not going to help anything in terms of it's only going to divide the state further now. As you know, this has the genie is out of the bottle. We can no longer say that this is there's no way you can convince these knuckle draggers that this is intended to keep people alive. You cannot convince them of it. If you're watching this, you don't believe me. You think I'm crazy. You think I'm an asshole, because I believe that. And I'm a fucking conservative. But you don't. So any story like this at this point is pushing us farther apart. If I'm Nessel, at this stage of the game, I would not have done this. So, just because in an effort to keep things from blowing up to some real trouble, I think that imposing the will on the old man is going to do nothing. I mean, those hicks are loading up their weaponry now. This could get really, really bad. So Nessel said, nope, that's it. Mankey can ask for an immediate hearing with an administrative law judge at the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. Mankey's attorney says it's pure retribution. It's abuse of power. How dare you stand up to me? I agree Michigan can stand up to him. I have no idea if it's retribution. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I'm not in the brain of Dana Nessel. I wouldn't have done it. I would have, you ever let something slide? Like maybe your kid does something and you don't quite agree with it, but you've got the kid and you almost let it slide a little bit just so that there's a little give and take. I wouldn't have done this. I would not have come down on Mankey. But Nessel, oh boy, she did not like the fact that this guy did this. Perhaps they're doing it because it could lay the groundwork for other hair salons and stuff like that. And I don't know if there's even end in sight totally on the lifting the stay at home. In Michigan, you never know. You just don't know. I will say this. The curve is flattened considerably. I think that the state should probably continue to loosen its grip because we are seeing numbers that are much better. And I think it has to do with flattening the curve. But I think that she might need to start tiptoeing towards more reopening. Hopefully that will happen. It all depends on the data. That's what this is all about, people. At least that's what I think. What do I know? I'm just a stupid podcaster doing a stupid podcast, yelling and ranting and raving and picking fights. Wisconsin is back open. Okay, the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, did you see this? You see the governor there, he was like, no way, man. And it kind of a lot like Michigan. But the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, you've got 4 conservatives, 3, actually, I think 3 that are liberal, but one of those liberals is a little bit moderate. It doesn't matter. They had the 4 conservatives voted to shut down the governor's order. So like a light switch, Governor Tom Evers' order is lifted. Like legit. Like you couldn't, it was a lot like Michigan, but in an instant, they turned on the faucet, okay? So that's big. That's really big. Let me just back up here. Wisconsin Supreme Court struck down Governor Tom Evers' order shutting down daily life to limit the spread of the virus, marking the first time that a statewide order of its kind has been knocked down by a court of last resort. State's highest court, controlled by conservatives, sided with Republican lawmakers Wednesday in a decision that curbed the Evers administration's power. What type of is he a Republican or a Democrat, Evers? I guess it might say here coming up, but I don't even know. I just heard thunder. Rolling thunder. Thunderstruck. Yeah, 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 thunderstruck. I love thunderstorms in the morning. Saturday morning would have been better. Let's see. Evers, what are you? Republican, Democrat? I don't know. The audience probably knows now. They're probably already saying on the comments. I don't, but it doesn't matter. So that's it. Just like that, Wisconsin. Now, I'm not sure if this can last because the ruling immediately lifts all restrictions on businesses and gatherings imposed by the administration's order, but keeps in place the closure of schools until the fall. Evers had begun lifting some restrictions because the spread of the virus had slowed for now. Why, Jesus, why would you do this? I mean, it's coming back to life slowly. There is no textbook for this. And now you run the risk of more and more people getting sick. You've got the idea that the kids are getting sick with a mystery illness that affects every organ in their body, even their skin. And you're just like, yep, have at it. I've got a news story. It comes from legendary TV station WTMJ about these Wisconsin hillbillies. You think it's bad in Michigan. Wisconsin has Milwaukee, and that's it. Everything else is shit kicker, fat, ugly Packer fans, okay? It's a disaster. And in this story, you know what they did? The second the lights were turned on by the court, everybody ran to the bar. No mask, next to each other, drinking fucking all over the place. This is ridiculous. Check this out.
The owners of those businesses jumped at the chance to immediately welcome customers back after the Supreme Court made its ruling.
Here at Lemansky's Pub, the neon sign says it's open and more than a dozen people
Lemansky's. Of course it's Lemansky's Pub.
are already inside. But before they enter, they're welcome to this sign on the front door that says, please sanitize your hands upon entering and remain.
Yeah, you say that to those hillbillies. You know what they're going to do? They're going to spit on them. That's what they do to sanitize their hands at Lemansky's fucking pub.
2 bar stools apart unless you're from the same household.
You must be 2 bar stools apart unless you're drinking with your kids. And by the way, not a one of them was 2 bar stools apart. They're all not, you know, you got the town whore. She weighs about 450. She's got 6 drinks in front of her, 2 dicks in her, and she's surrounded by these fucking inbreds. She's going, yeah, come on, who's next? Yeah, whatever. Sickening.
Inside Lemansky's Pub, drinks are pouring and patrons are enjoying the company of longtime friends. For customer Katie Kowski, it's a much-needed...
Her name is Katie Kowski. Yes, at Lemansky's Pub. Sanitize your hands, Katie. Her actual name is Kowski. And boy, is she. She looks like fucking pulling guard for the Packers.
Stress relief.
I have a toddler at home, and I'm a full-time nurse, so it's been very stressful and hard to not be able to go out and be with my friends and family at the
with your boyfriend.
bars.
Owner Kathy Gady says she reopened right after she learned the state Supreme Court's ruling striking down the state's safer-at-home order.
And then I just waited for the Tavern League to send out information, and as soon as we got that, I mean, it was awesome.
Gady's
The women in Wisconsin do nothing for makeup. Not a stitch of makeup, because they're smart enough to realize it's like putting fucking lipstick on a hog.
She's reminding patrons to keep a social distance while limiting capacity to a third the bar can hold. Kowski says she doesn't have any concerns.
Very few people in here are wearing masks.
Her fucking name is Kowski. Can you believe that? Holy shit.
Fat broads.
Yep.
Are you concerned about possibly getting coronavirus from being inside the bar tonight?
No, I don't think that the risk presents any higher than me going to a grocery store.
Are you crazy? And then listen to these idiots.
A similar scene can be found just a few miles away at the Buzzard's Nest.
The Buzzard's Nest, folks.
Regulars rushing to get back to their favorite pub.
First thought, we flipped it right to the parking lot, and yeah, we got to get in and have a first drink.
Owner Larry Pryor says
not a one of these idiots is wearing a mask. Nobody cares. Like nothing fucking happened.
He's well aware this opportunity could be short-lived if Milwaukee County places its own restrictions on local taverns.
West Dallas could come in, they could call us like they did.
I hate these people.
March 17th, and say you have to shut down by 10 or you need to shut down immediately.
Back here at Lemansky's pub, the owner says she's also concerned
Yeah, when they went back to Lemansky's, they should have had like a fight going on in the background, and like that fat chick's got 3 in her. Kowski's sitting there, and she's like, yeah, give it to me. And the fucking toaster oven making the burgers is on fire, and it's all just nuts. That's what should have been the backdrop back at Lemansky.
Bar could be shut down, but she says one night open is better than none in the near future. Reporting in West Dallas, Ben Jordan, TMJ4 News.
That's all these stupid inbred idiots in Wisconsin needed. Oh my God, these people. I hate them. I hate them so much. Stone Cold Steve Austin is not stupid. This is great. All this guy wanted to do, and this is a former wrestler. I think he still works in wrestling, but everybody loves this guy still. He was known as the shit kicker guy who sits there, comes into the ring before he kicks your ass, drinks the beer, smashes into you, kicks your ass, tells you to shut up, giving people the finger. I love this guy. So when I see Stone Cold Steve Austin wearing a mask, I love that. That's great. Well, Steve didn't like this because when he posted it on Instagram, one of his fans wrote, "This mask goes against your reputation, Steve. Stay strong. Be a rebel. And do not conform. Cool mask, but strip off the communism." His response, "Shut up, dude." What is wrong with you people that makes you throw down these words so easily when it has nothing to do with that? Like dipshits like Nick with propaganda and communism, and we're fighting for our freedom and liberty and the Constitution and all of this shit. It's like, so what the fuck? So it has nothing to do with that. They're trying to keep you alive. Get that through your thick Neanderthal brain. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't believe that this is happening. It's falling on deaf ears. The battle lines are drawn. My God. Fans seem to enjoy Stone Cold Steve Austin. Got over 6,000 likes. All it took, though, was the one dumb shit to say something dumb, and Stone Cold told him to shut up, which that guy probably loved. I'm with you, Stone Cold. Wear your damn mask. All right. Whether you agree with it or not, I don't care. More podcasting on the way. This is what happens. This is the next story I cannot wait to get to is imagine you're at a veteran cemetery. You know, the white tombstones perfectly lined up, and you see something. You see a swastika on a tombstone. You're like, what? Well, that's a thing. Did you know this? State of Virginia, swastika on the tombstone. More on that in a second. First off, though, Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Right over there, that's a guy. You can call them at 231-332-6505. Don't be a dummy. If you need a mortgage, call three. Call three people. Call person A, call person B, and then call Mario. 231-332-6505. You're going to love this guy. Whether it's a first-time mortgage, you're getting a refi, you want to get another house, whatever it may be. You need money out of your home. He does it all. He's got a great staff. 231-332-6505. Key sponsor of the show, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I'll never forget when I sat down with Mario for the first time. Something just fell off here, and I don't know what it was. First time I sat down with Mario was over at Rad Dad's Tacos inside of Mercy Health Arena in Muskegon. And he goes, yeah, I think I want to advertise. I go, oh, okay. So I was like going over some of the ad packages with him. I have different levels. And he goes, I want it all. Give it all to me. I want to be like all over the place in the podcast. I go, okay. Sounds good. Wrote it up. Boom. Here we are. If you need mortgage help, call Mario 231-332-6505. Don't let my loudmouth views on the world hinder your decision at who is going to do your mortgage for you. I am me, and that's it. Take it or leave it. But Mario here, 231-332-6505. Like Prince Army over here. Retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince. He doesn't agree with anything I say. He doesn't agree with a lick of it. And I'm like, Steve, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's about freedom. And so he's a freedom fighter, too. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Come on. Never before have I felt that I've actually considered punching the stomach of someone so much bigger than me over this. It makes me so angry. Prince is like you knuckle draggers. He believes that you should go fight for your freedom at the Capitol. Anyway, Dum wants to teach you everything you need to know about getting your CPL. 616-204-1705. He's got a class coming up June 4th. That is a Thursday, June 4th, starting at about 6 p.m., and then he picks it up again on Saturday the 6th at 1:30 in Holland Township, Michigan. Call him 616-204-1705. Call him up. He's going to pick it up. Hello? Yeah, hey, Zane, first of all, Zane thinks you're a dum-dum, and we should stay at home, and he wants me to sign up for the class. That's what you do. It's going to set you back $125. All right, I got to make sure that my ducks are in a row here on this A&E heating and cooling commercial. I need to make very, very sure that I do this appropriately. Damn it, and I already screwed it up. Hang on. A&E. All right. For the first time ever, I actually have guidelines on doing my commercial for A&E Heating and Cooling because he has teamed up with a tremendous brand. And these brand people, they're serious about their brand. They want to make sure I get this right. The equipment that Joe uses to make you comfortable is the Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating Company. That's what he's installing into your home, the Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating products. When you call Joe at 616-516-8579, you want to be calling him about whether it might be getting a repair job done or a new install. He installs Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating products. Awesome stuff. Thank you to them. Air conditioning needs to be serviced. It was $89. Get it for $79 with Joe, 616-516-8579. But you got to mention me. He's also installing the air purifiers, the iWave, the UV lights, the media cleaning. You can get that for 10% off with A&E Heating and Cooling. He brings you forbidden Spanish. He brings you top-notch care, heating and cooling, and he uses the Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating products. All right? We're good, I hope. All right. Don't forget, Comfort Maker. Comfort with confidence. That's what they have. I know their products are. I know the equipment is. And I know Joe is. Great team. thank you to them for being on board with this stupid, rant-filled, expletive-filled show. I don't know what's going on here. Just had a little bit of crackle pop that I had to get rid of. Okay, so let's say again you're walking through a national cemetery. I have to do this once or twice a year when I visit the grave of my in-laws. My wife's dad was in Korea, and then we had after he was laid to rest, we had the remains of my mother-in-law laid next to him, the cremated remains, and man, it's always quite a moving thing. So imagine you're walking around and, you see like Star of David on one tombstone, maybe like a cross on another, and then you look a little further and you see a swastika. What am I seeing here? I cannot believe that it has taken this long to become a news story. Here we are in a day and an age when if you wave a Confederate flag, it's a bad deal. Why the hell is there friggin' swastikas on tombstones? Well, what had happened was apparently some of the Nazis are buried in our national cemeteries, and when they do that, they the fucking dummy would put a swastika on the tombstone. What asshole would do that? If you have a Nazi, first of all, why is a Nazi being buried in the same cemetery where our war heroes are being laid? The same people that we were trying to kill to end the tyranny of, we're laying them side by side. Some Marine who was a fucking Iwo Jima. The fuck is that all about? Man, let's see. Let's dig a little deeper on this. Man. Veterans Affairs officials are rejecting the calls to remove the gravestones bearing Nazi swastikas at a pair of federal veteran cemeteries, saying they have a duty to preserve the historic markers. Dude, if I'm walking through a veteran cemetery and I see a Nazi grave with a symbol on it, guess what tombstone's getting knocked over? I'm going to kick the shit out of that thing until it's laying down, and then I'm going to flip it over or throw it in the dumpster. Officials from the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, and how did that not happen in the first place? Called the continued presence of the offensive symbols alongside the resting place of American veterans shocking and inexcusable, demanding a public apology from the VA leaders. Second, and I don't know if it says it here. Yeah, and it actually says in German, the inscription, okay, you got Iron Cross, which is a no-no, with a swastika in the middle of it, the white tombstone. And then it says, here lies whoever whatever the name you can think of, Hans German. I can't think of a name. And it says in German, he died far from home for the Fuhrer, people, and fatherland. So it's actually referencing Adolf Hitler. This is a thing. Secretary Robert Wilkie must immediately replace the gravestones of all German military personnel interned in VA national cemeteries so that absolutely no Nazi-era symbols will ever again be allowed to appear on such gravestones. They need, okay, all right, fine, they're there. They shouldn't be with all the Americans and the people who died for America. You don't put the enemy with the, you dig them up and you put an area that says shithead zone and you just fucking chuck it over there with no tombstone. Here lies fucking crazy shitheads. You don't recognize them as being Nazis? What the fuck is that? At issue, are just three grave sites at two VA, I said Virginia because it says VA, two VA cemeteries, Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery in Texas and Fort Douglas Post Cemetery in Utah. Both were used to inter dozens of unclaimed remains of enemy troops following World War II. Man, what the fuck? What a blunder that someone said, I think we should put the swastika on there to honor these crazy lunatics. While most of the foreign troops' grave markers list only names and dates of death, the 3 in question are also engraved with what I told you. Veteran Affairs officials in a statement said the headstones date back to the 1940s. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I hate that argument. Well, it's history. I don't care. I don't care that it's history. Army officials oversaw both cemeteries at the time and approved the inscriptions and inclusions of the swastikas. That's hard to believe that in the 1940s, here we are, we're fighting the fucking Nazis and we're fighting the Japanese and the fascist, whatever, the Axis powers. And oh yeah, first of all, how did they die here? What happened? I want to know why they're even on our soil. Who gives it? And who visits this grave? Nobody's going to visit this grave. They're fucking Nazis. The National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 assigned stewardship responsibilities, a lot of big words, yada, yada, to protect his history. No. We're not going to protect this history. For this, I mean, do they do this in Nazi Germany? I mean, not Nazi Germany. Oh, Jesus. Do they do this in Germany? I mean, in Germany, they have done such a tremendous job in distancing themselves from the craziness of that era. Do they have, if in Germany, if there's swastikas on a tombstone, you're going to jail. There's no fucking way there's a swastika on a tombstone in Germany. No way, no how. You can, if you go like this and say Sig Heil in Germany, they're going to fucking throw you in jail. Yet in America, because it's history, we've got Nazis on tombstones. Nazi symbols on tombstones. This is ridiculous. Some veterans call that stance offensive because the VA says we will continue to preserve these headphones. Headphones? What the fuck is wrong with me? Headphones? Shit, am I getting tired? Headstones, you stupid idiot. God, what a dunce. I'm so wound up today that I can't even, I see the words and they're coming out as actual different words. I hope it was funny for you. One retired senior officer who occasionally visits the grave of his Jewish grandfather at the Fort Sam Houston site said he only recently discovered these. Yeah, knock them over, man. Just yank it out, throw it in the back of your truck, and be done with it. What are they going to do? This is the hallowed ground of people who gave their life for America, who asked his name to be withheld due to fear of reprisal from extremist groups that still use the swastika today. Fuck that. To be buried next to people that fought displaying the symbol of hate is disgusting. I agree. Is there any of you that agrees with this? I'm serious here. We might have to duke it out. I mean, I've been pretty pissed off lately about the whole quarantine thing and fighting you about that. But if you agree, let it be known, we might have to duke it out here. I don't give a shit how big you are. I'm gonna get killed, but I'll get a ball. I'll rip a testicle right off with my teeth, or I'll dig out an eye. It's not gonna be pretty. The VA only adds more despicable fuel to the spreading I don't know that word, conflagration of anti-Jewish bigotry and prejudice by saying to the world that the Nazi grave markers have been there for a long time, so they get to stay. Yeah, I've always hated that argument. The VA's pathetic and feckless response here is disingenuous at best and dishonest at worst. Isn't the VA the ones that are real shitty with making the medical care and the mental health care available to our most vulnerable veterans? Isn't that the same group that they're like always mired in red tape and bullshit? The VA took over the Fort Sam Houston site in 1973 and the Fort Douglas site in 2019. So you know you got some fucking pencil neck pussy who's in charge of all of this shit. My God. There's actual swastikas on tombstones in an American veterans cemetery surrounded by other military that fought against that. What? You can't even get a swastika in Germany, but you can in the U.S. Oh, my God. That's rough. I'm going to leave that right there. I want your feedback, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I want your feedback on the Facebook comments. There better be some good fights on Facebook because I can't take it when you're just being nice to each other and saying hi and have a good day and expect to talk about it on the next day's podcast. Let it fly. Let it fly. I need to conclude with a story that I just can't believe. I just can't believe it happened. I went, what? Is this The Onion that I'm reading? Can't be true. And it involves something that I have. This could actually happen to me one day because of the amount and type of pets that we have here at the Eric Zane Show Podcast facility. Yesterday, was it yesterday that I did this? No, yesterday was yesterday Riverbend Body Shop Day? No, yesterday was I got my estimate from Riverbend Body Shop about how much it's going to cost to get Madison's car to not look like a ghetto car. This was the Civic that I handed down to her that I drove for, 225,000 miles. Still runs great. It's about to hit like 300,000 miles. It's awesome. Anyway, it's all tortoise shit because she can't drive and people run into her. So they're fixing it. I got the estimate. I go, all right, Friday's the day, man. They go, you need a loaner car? I go, nope. We've got cars everywhere here because nobody works. No big deal. Dropping that bad boy off Friday. Should have it, I don't know, Monday, Tuesday. Cleaned, ready to go. Immaculate. Looks like a brand new car. This is what you do. Go to riverbendbodyshop.com. They got a spot there on the website. You can do it online. They got like an online portal for your pictures if you want. And it is so easy. You don't have to do it the old-fashioned way. You can do it the COVID way. Or you can, text. There's a number there. It's right on the front of riverbendbodyshop.com. You can just text your damage pictures and your VIN, and you're done. If they need more clarification, they'll let you know. It's so easy to do. Or if you're like me and you know you're going to be fine because they have all the necessary social distancing protocols in place, go there. I did. Lake Michigan Drive, just east of Wilson and Grand Rapids, next to the municipal fire station, police station building. Went in. Everybody's got their mask on. DeGroot, his pants, 6 sizes too small. He walks outside over to the car, moose knuckle, prominently shown, takes the pictures, boom, done. That's all you got to do. One of you just went there and said, hey, Zane sent me. When you go, please mention my name. Say that asshole Eric Zane, who's been pissing me off on his podcast, told me to come here. These guys are the best, man. I'm telling you. At Riverbend Body Shop, you can also call them with questions, 616-453-7795. Or just go online, riverbendbodyshop.com. Thank you for the sponsorship. Last but certainly not least, of the free sponsors on the free podcast is a guy who's just been killing it. I should say a guy and his better half wife. It's Benjamin and Kyle from BK Guns and Stuff. These two sit around and they fix everybody's guns. They refurbish weaponry. They make custom builds on weaponry. What I'm hearing through the grapevine is some of you rednecks are taking your shotguns and taking them or mailing them to BK Guns and Stuff, and then you're having Kyle or Benjamin modify the shotgun. Now, I have no idea what that means. Now, for the hillbillies that listen to this show, I would expect you're attaching a handle shaped like Donald Trump's dick so you can hold on to Trump's dick while you're shooting your shotgun. Or, if it's a pump action deal, it's Trump's dick is the pump action. That you're actually modifying the shotgun with Trump's dick on it. Or maybe it's the stock. You've got Trump's face on it. I don't know what the fuck you do with your weaponry, but he can do it. He can do anything, okay? Custom work, BK Guns and Stuff. Call this hillbilly up at 616-902-2447. if you go to my stupid website, ericzaneshow.com, there's a logo of BK Guns and Stuff. It features a silhouette of a hillbilly man and a hillbilly woman. You click on it, it takes you to his hillbilly Facebook page. Call these people up and get your gun shit done. Firearms transfers. You can buy any type of weaponry there. It's all good, okay? I love them so much. And I'm going to go see them very soon because my dad's ancient antique 22 is damaged because over at Fear Bunker North, I jammed the damn thing, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to end up shooting myself. All right. Thank you to BK Guns and Stuff. When I saw this last story that I'm going to share with you, I said, no way. That didn't happen. This is fake news. I thought it was, like I said, The Onion, that parody site. It's been sent to me by more than one person. And I don't know how this happened. An Illinois woman is dead, mauled to death by her French bulldog. Now, this actually happened. I can't believe it. Lisa Urso of Ingleside, Illinois, by a Frenchie. Frenchies don't do anything but roll on their back. They can't get up. Most are physically challenged. They're usually fat with 1-inch legs. They weigh maybe 30 pounds, maybe. They get exhausted with 3 steps. They like to hump. They're like me, 14-year-old me, in the tent when Kim Lazara's walking around at Fear Bunker North back in 1980, whatever. They're only worried about rubbing their joint out on another dog, humping until they actually jizz on the other dog, male or female. They don't care. And if they can't find another dog, they're going to rub their joint on a leg, a couch, an ottoman. They drool, they stink, they eat, they fart, they crap. Notice none of these things that I've said is the word maul or cause death. What? Now, my bulldog, my Frenchie Bruce, is a little bit of an anomaly. He's big. Bruce is a large bulldog, French bulldog. He's 42 pounds. And when we go on walks, he is constantly pulling me, which is a lot of resistance applied to him because I won't let him pull me. So the leash, he's not trained in any way. He just humps shit and fucking pulls me on a leash. Because of that half-mile walk where he's basically pulling a tractor, what it feels like to him, he's ripped. The dog is completely jacked. He has muscles in places. I mean, his toes have muscles. So he's kind of a weirdo. And he's heavy at 40-plus pounds. That's on the high end for sure on a French bulldog. I don't know what's going on here. This French bulldog, from what I'm told, weighed 55 pounds. That doesn't sound right to me. Something's weird there, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like the world's biggest Frenchie. Again, they don't have this. They don't do this. I mean, I've never heard of something like this. Lisa Urso, the deceased, was found in the patio of her home on Saturday. She died in an attack from one of the 3 dogs she had. 52-year-old woman she actually had 2 Frenchies. They're both covered in blood. And the article from USA Today said it's a smaller breed of dog, not typically associated with deadly attacks. And the coroner said, yeah, the Frenchie did it. What the fuck? You don't really think about it happening with a smaller dog breed, but we forget animals can be powerful. He said this animal has a lot of jaw strength. Okay. The dog attacked Urso inside her home before she made it out to the patio where she friggin' died. A Frenchie ripped her throat out. Oh, my God. Oh. Cooper told the Chicago Tribune that the French Bulldog had a history of biting and that it is impossible to know whether it was the only dog that attacked Urso. This might be a little bit sensationalized. I don't know. The dog thought to have killed Urso. They're going to kill the dog. They're going to euthanize it. They said the dog weighed 55 pounds. Remarkable. I cannot imagine. I got to see a picture of it because, you see, the way they're doing it on the news is they have a picture of a lady, and it might be her, holding a Frenchie, but it's not it. It's a little shit, fat-ass Frenchie. And then in this one, I see the Frenchie's laying on his back. He's holding the paw up. He's all – there's no way. I don't know about this. So that's it. She's dead. Oh, my God. I wish I had more news about this. I hate to end on the story about the Frenchie getting mauled, but I think that's going to do it. Oh, my God. Jesus. That's it. They're underway in the Capitol. These hillbillies got started at 9 a.m. So the knuckle-dragging body odor convention has begun as they fight for freedom! Come on, you fucking morons. That's it. I hope you like the podcast. If not, fuck off. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I'll talk to you on Patreon. That's right, more podcasting there. Hey, yesterday I screwed up. Some of you couldn't get the audio of the Patreon bonus podcast. I fixed it. I did screw something up. If you ever had that problem, make sure you reach out to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I know Bleeding Heart Brian was in a panic, like screaming at everybody, calling his mom and dad, looking for help and sympathy because he's such a pussy. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. See you, folks. Bye-bye.